Hello, I'm Dan Brown. I'm director of Between the Blinds. I wanted to read this little acceptance speech that I have written. And in it, I explain why I'm reading it. It was a stunner for me. It's not like I didn't think we could pull off an award when we began production on Between the Blinds. Like the rest of the cast and crew, I got carried away in thinking we had the Best Use of Element award in the bag. And truthfully, it became the only award I would remember. On the day our film played, I was blown away by the other films that followed. I knew we had great films and really talented filmmakers to compete with. On the night of the awards, I saw so many of those filmmakers all dressed up, smiling, and nervous but confident. It was by this point that my heart was racing. I had no idea if we would win the only award on my mind. So, when the awards were finally announced, the realization and disappointment that came to me as each award I was reminded about and then lost came and went, I was sobered up. Then, to my pleasure and surprise, we were nominated for Best Acting. My hopes were built up even more when we were nominated for Best Concept. While we did not win any of those awards, it was amazing to be nominated on our very first Project 21 film, and not just our first Project 21 film, but our first film for any competition like this. You could then imagine my shock when Deborah Twiss announced the nominees for Best Directing. I really could not remember that award having been a category when we began. My heart really began to race for this one, as that was my main contribution to our team. Lo and behold, Team was read as a nominee. All of us, the team, our family, we just started looking at each other, and at me. And then, when I heard Deborah say, "And the winner is Team?" in that humorous, pretend confused way, I found myself unable to move for a second. And then I realized I had no idea what I was going to say. I had all this practice talking to large groups of people over the last 6 months, showing our other films and doing Q&As afterwards, but this was an award, specifically for my job in the movie. And there were 4 nominees who did not win sitting in the audience who had to sit and watch me stand there accepting the award. I walked over to the microphone. The room became much larger to me. I caught a glimpse of just one of the people in the crowd, leaning a bit forward in his chair, his eyes on me, waiting to hear what I had to say. I couldn't tell if he was leaning forward out of anger, or boredom, curiosity, or excitement. Who knows? But I saw his eyes, and he became a symbol for the entire crowd. I knew that meant everyone's eyes were looking at me. And a minute prior, I was prepared to walk home empty-handed. And now, here I was, a winner, holding an award for which I had to give a speech I never wrote, that I never prepared for. Oh, I was nervous all right. And believe me when I say that everything I'm telling you now was racing through my head at that moment, too. It was kind of like that Need a Moment candy bar commercial where someone's in a bind, not sure what to say. They take a bite out of the candy bar, which gives them time to think of a sly way out of trouble. Well, Jerry Cerruti, producer, and Kate McMean's writer and assistant director, were my candy bars. They came up to the microphone with me, and it gave me some time to try and come up with something to say. My mind was frozen in fear. They stood next to me, and I still was not sure what to say. I literally felt like I had forgotten the English language. All that I remember saying was what I had told someone else before we entered the room for the awards, how doing the competition was literally last minute and was a great experience, and we want to do it again next year. After I sat down, we went on to be nominated for Best Film, a huge honor. We didn't win, unfortunately, but it was an amazing experience to have been even nominated for so many awards, let alone the ability to win one on our very first film like this. The days after the awards, I asked people if they were upset that I didn't mention them, and some people were. So I'm here now to thank, on record, those who helped make this movie possible, because I really do thank you. And I really did want to thank you at the awards, but my state of shock kept me from doing so. Firstly, thank you to Jerry Cerruti, our producer, who pushed us to do this in the first place. If he hadn't asked, there would not only be no award here, but no awesome film to go with it, a film which we can now proudly take to other festivals. He's also the one to get everyone together. He made calls to get both cast and crew from the network of people he knew. A true producer indeed. Thank you to Kate McMeans, my business partner, writer, assistant director, head screwer on her, and friend. Taking a step back, I might not have even met Jerry were it not for Kate getting me out of my chair to make movies in the first place. For the movie, Kate was our face for makeup tests. She pulled strings, had organized schedules. She wore many hats. She was the Swiss Army knife on set. Thank you to Tika Webb, our associate producer, who was a helping hand from pre through post-production. Her day job was long, but she always found time for us and always put in her all. Thank you to Stephanie Weiss, who helped bring the puppets to life, doing makeup and strings, also our associate producer, another fine member who really wanted to see this film the best it could be. Thank you to Jessica Gamble. She was invaluable, a major player. She led the makeup tests, helped with makeup on set, helped dress the set, move equipment, and after all of that, assisted in the editing too. All with a smile and world-famous laugh that kept us in positive spirits before, during, and after production. Thanks to our entire cast. I had not worked with anyone before this. However, a couple of our youngest actresses I had the pleasure of working with in pre-production on another project. Everyone was so positive, so professional, and so fun to be around. And they were all phenomenal actors. Thanks goes to Trisha and Candace. They set the bar high. Truly great actors and great people. Thank you to Henry, an amazing, kind gentleman who was also nothing but professional on set. Very easy and enjoyable to work with. Thank you to our youngest cast member, Lexi. Her smile was brighter than the sun during our days of shooting. She emanated positive vibes and she played her part wonderfully, enjoyed every minute of it. Thank you to Samantha, the second youngest of the cast, another actress I had the pleasure of working with in pre-production on past projects. Already a real professional and performed wonderfully. Thank you to Steven, who was called last minute. He came in with a smile. He's come to help on other projects as well. He is a great person, willing to help whenever anything's needed. He had his head straight and he really made sure he performed the way I asked to see. Thank you to Mindy, who co-starred and co-wrote the picture, invaluable to us. She was willing to work in front of or behind the camera, whatever it took. She was determined to see the project start to finish, doing whatever she could to make it the best it could be, and that was seen through. Everyone under our special thanks credit in the movie, including Jeremy for the original idea of the puppets, and John for getting us the actual puppets. There really are so many people who helped out, all who deserve my thanks to them. I really do appreciate everyone's work on this project. It was awesome, and I want to enter the competition next year too. Thank you again for being part of the movie.